Hello everybody, Artifact Molotech here, back at it again with another War the Text episode. And now today is a test of time, as we examine the beautiful Time Lords today. And we're going to be talking about what makes each and every Time Lord good in their own way. Except that shitty level 10 light one. We can do away with that. So now I'm going to be discussing them in my order of most powerful to least powerful. And the one I believe to be the strongest right now is Zephion the Time Lord. Because when she does battle, first before I even get into her effect, let me talk about what each of the Time Lords have unique to their ability. The Time Lords all have the creative, unique ability of not being able to be killed by battle or by card effect, and you take no battle damage involving any battle with them, which means it is entirely pointless for you to attack these things. You'd probably be doing your opponent a favor and the Time Lord player a favor anyway. So yeah. Attacking these things is pretty dumb, because they get their effects when they're attacked as well. Which is, why would you even want to resolve that? But why would you, going against the Time Lord, even want to resolve that? But anyways, her effect, what makes her special is the fact she shuffles all of your opponent's spell traps, all of them, back into the deck. She's a non-targeting, non-destroying Harpy's Feather Duster. She's better in every possible way. And keep in mind, she recycles herself back in the deck, which means you can keep summoning as long as you control no monsters. Normal summon. You can keep normal summoning her over and over again. It doesn't matter what you do. She's guaranteed to be drawn out at some point. And when she does, all of your opponent's back row is getting bounced back into the Stone Age, aka the deck. And I feel that this card is very underrated. She's going for about $1.37 online right now. I feel she should be back at the $3 range and reaching the $5 range for each copy by now, because this card is definitely worth the money. Because the fact that it can bounce the spells and traps back into the deck, I mean, what at worst can happen to you is a Solemn Strike negating her effect, and then she just sits on the field, acts as a guaranteed wall for a whole turn. And the only thing worse than that can happen is your opponent's Solemn Warnings her summon, so they don't lose all their back row, and then you're going to get her effect, so you can draw a card. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen to a Time Lord. It gets Solemn Warned, and then their ability activates from the graveyard anyway, allowing you to draw a card, which is broken. And again, as long as you control no monsters, you can just normal summon them right away. It's as if you're getting a free level 10 monster card on the field. And if you're combining Time Lords with trains, you could technically use the Time Lords for overlay units as well, if necessary, for the superior door, or the other rank 10 monster that does 3000 burn. So that's entirely up to you what you want to do with that. Well, in conclusion, I feel Zephion is the most powerful. Metaion the Time Lord. In my opinion, he's the second best Time Lord released right now. Again, the worst one, in my opinion, is the light one, and that's the one I don't even have for this video because nobody even fucking uses that motherfucker. But anyways, Metaion the Time Lord is a level 10 fire fairy this time. 0 attack defense, and basically when he does battle, all other monsters except for himself on the field get bounced back into the hand. Basically, it's the Tellarknight Triver, but just for monsters. Like Giant Trunade just for monsters is what I meant to say, sorry. But yeah, it's still very good. And the fact that, again, he cannot be killed by battle nor by card effects, and you take no battle damage whatsoever from any battles involving him. Worst thing that can happen, yet again, Solemn Strike on his effect, and then he just becomes a guaranteed wall off for a whole turn where your opponent can't kill you, or a Solemn Warning's going to be flipped on contact of his normal summon before it officially goes through, and he's going to allow you to draw a card. And it's just very powerful, the fact that you can put this on the board against like a Link deck, and then all of their fucking Link monsters are just gonna go right back into the extra deck. They're just gonna go right back in. Go right back in. That's right. You summon this guy against Stargrill, all the Link monsters are gone. That's right. Back in the extra deck, they had to redo all that all over again. And I could see Stargrill becoming quite popular at a certain point. And keep in mind, this guy also has protection from destruction by battle or by card effect. Which means against Zoo, it can be effective as well because Dryad can't fucking destroy this motherfucker. It doesn't matter what they do, they can't kill him. And in the Yang Zing Dino matchup, what are they gonna do? 9 pillars him? Jesus Christ. They probably would though. Just to protect their Denelon plays. But yeah. It's just such a great card overall, and I really appreciate the fact that they reprinted this card multiple times over. I think the first printing was an Ultra, then reprinted once as a Super Rare, and then 2 times as Premium Gold. And this guy's still online for about $3 today, which means that you have to spend $9 for a playset, which is a bit much considering what it was all these years ago. I have my playset. I got my playset cheap a long time ago. But anyways, this is a very powerful tech that you all should consider in your decks. Now this one's a special one. This one right here, oh man, this guy is broken. And I'm going to explain why. When he does battle, during the end of the battle phase, you can spin 1 card on the field without targeting back into the deck. Any card on the field back in the deck. Neither you or your opponent can respond with a card effect to his effect's activation. Period. That means no strike is going to take place. You will have to solemn warning his summon in order to get around him. And if you do that, again, I'm going to draw a card for that. So, you're technically helping me dig through more to my deck. It works around Solemn Strike, it works around Recall, it works around Divine Wrath if people still use that shit today. It works around Counter Traps. So I could see this becoming a very popular tech against Counter Fairy because their Counter Traps can't respond to it. Overall. So yeah, guys, you try picking up this card because online he's like what, a penny right now? I got mine for a penny. Like the shipping cost, 25 cents was more than the actual price of the card. It's something you might want to consider to run when Counter Fairy becomes the best deck. When the new structure that comes out because they can't respond to this guy's effect. So yeah, guys, try him out, pick him up. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Now this one is probably one of the less powerful ones when it comes to overall variety on matchups, but has the most potential to have the most broken effect ever. And I'm going to explain why. This card right here, he has an ability where, again, he can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. You take no damage. That's something with all the Time Lords. But this guy, when he battles, your opponent's entire graveyard goes back in the deck. You know what that means? 60 card decks get fucked over by this guy. Any deck that relies on having a heavy graveyard count gets fucked over by this guy. And every time your opponent draws, they take 1,000. So this guy is technically a good tech to chain burn as well. If you want to Cypher Lightsworn or 60 cards in general, while being able to do burn your opponent just for your opponent doing something simple as drawing a card. And it allows you to wall off your opponent's OTKs as well. Something that chain burn could struggle with at times. So overall, it's a very powerful card I highly recommend you try out. This one really isn't too special, but I've considered it many times as a possible tech card against Trickstar. Because this card allows you to bring your life automatically back up to 4,000. Automatically if you have less than 4,000. So Trickstar's in the midst of burning you, you can use this and you could bring yourself back up enough. Pardon the interruption. You could bring yourself back up enough where they can't OTK you because, remember, you take no battle damage involving this card. And they can't kill it with card effects either. So no honest, no nothing's gonna get the fucking job done. And on top of that, keep in mind that even though they have that OTK with Trickstar Reincarnation banishing itself from the graveyard, bringing out swarming the board with Trickstars and trying to go all in before you can recover, this card can technically work around that in some sense. So yeah, it's not anything you might want to invest in too great, but it's something you could buy. I mean, it's a penny. Come on, just don't let it sit there, man. But buy it. Just buy it. It's cheap. You don't know if it might have some kind of competitive playability in the future. It also does some good shit against Chainburn too, if you're worried about that matchup. So yeah, guys, in conclusion, I'm going to tell you my rankings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything out of this chain is absolutely an utter garbage, aka the level 10 and light Time Lord monster card. But overall, as tech cards, all these guys work. Some outs to Time Lords to consider if you have a guy at your locals who's already using them is cards like Forbidden Chalice, Fiendish Chain, Breakthrough Skill, Solemn Strike if you don't want them to hurt you too bad, and Recall, I think that negates monster effects. Skill Drain definitely is a very good card against them. Not Lion Piercing Mirror because none of them are really light. They're good anyway, but anyways. And basically anything that would banish cards, negate effects on field, things like that. Simple things like that is what I highly recommend to you as a anti-Time Lord player trying to play against Time Lords to side or main for them if you have a guy that plays them at your locals. And you as a Time Lord player to prepare for cards like that need to run Dark Bribe in your deck. Because Dark Bribe can counter all those outs immediately. Dark Bribe can answer the Strike, Dark Bribe can answer the Skill Drain, it can answer the Chalice, it can answer the Breakthrough Skill, it can answer the Fiendish Chain, it can answer all of those cards overall. Thus, it's a very good option to run. And this is a very good tech engine to run in the possible future. I give it an 8 out of 10 when it comes to playability. Artifact Molotov, signing out. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a nice day. Peace.